Good day, everyone. I'd like to share something personal with you all. Came to find out it's also a part of Yahweh's word. Yah had given this word to one of his prophets as well. Not calling myself a prophet, I've never called myself a prophet. I've never even called myself a chosen one. Or any other names that people give themselves out there, like star seeds or indigo or whatever it may be. I've never given myself any kind of name. In fact, I actually hate it. But Yahweh said he would have poured out his spirit on all flesh, and people would start to prophesy. People would start to share certain things. People would even start to confess, and his wrath and his displeasure has poured out on all flesh. No one is exempt. Nobody. Literally nobody. Me no exempt. Nobody no exempt. However, some of us had taken heed to his voice, and we're returning to him. We're listening to his voice, his commands, and we're returning to him. But his wrath and his displeasure has been poured out on all flesh. Now, people would usually ask me, why aren't you married? When are you getting married? Do you have children? Why don't you have children? And my heart will always answer first. My heart will always respond by saying, why do you want to have children in this place? Why would you want to have children in this place? That's what my heart would usually respond and say. Why would you want to have children in this place? Filled with wickedness, evilness, corruption, unrighteousness, all sorts of things. Why would you want to have children in this place? Those were the exact words every single time somebody would ask me that question. But I would usually say, because I haven't met the right man. I'd always say that. And this is what leads some of us astray sometimes. Our heart would tell us the right things, though it sounds harsh and blunt and cold, but it's telling us the right thing. And our heart is made up of Yahweh's Ruach Kadesh, which is also his sword, which pierces us individually as well. He speaks to us through his heart, through our hearts. But we would follow what the world wants or what our mouth speaks. And I would often believe what my mouth is saying because I have not met the right man, right? And there are many a times when we experience a lot of things where our heart would speak to us, clear as day, coming directly from the Ruach Kadesh, but we would listen. We would just push it aside and not listen to it, and listen to the world, and listen to what the world has to offer, and all of these things, right? And we always end up in a trouble. Have we not? Right? But I'd always believe that it's because I have not found the right man. Not until he led me to that same word he had given to his prophet when he said to not take a wife, don't have children in this land because, when them sick and full of disease and no, all sorts of things will happen to them when we have children in this place. We're not in the place where we're not in the land that we were promised, or we're not in the city or the place that we were promised. So that's why someone will not have picnic, right? But I always thought it's because I haven't met the right man. But it was a part of Yahweh's plan all along, right? And anyway, he led me to that scripture where he had told his prophet Jeremiah or Jeremiah that why would you don't have any children in this land. And my heart would always answer and say, why would you want to have children in this place? And this also showed me that, remember, Yahweh said that He would put His Torah in our inward parts and He would engrave it on our hearts, and we would start to remember certain things, right? He is doing that. And it's not just this scripture. There's a lot of things I've said. There, some of the songs that some of the songs that I've sung and shared it with you all. I've never even read the scripture. It just came through the Spirit. And only after those things came through the Spirit that I was led to scripture. I was led to His Word to see that the things I've sung or the things I've said, it was already written already. It was already written already. And His Spirit actually taught me those things. And He said He would actually put His Torah in our inward parts. And He would give us His Spirit so we would turn to righteousness and revere Him and understand and do His commands and things like that. He said He would do it. And when I realized that these things are actually happening to me, where things I say, things I write, things I sing, they're His Word. They're His Word that I didn't even know that I know. Only when I'm being led to scriptures or led to His Word or hear somebody else say it, I would say to myself, then, but this is what the Spirit led me to say. I realized that He said it. He said He would place His Word in our heart. And sometimes the Word that He places in our heart, it pierces us as well. Because that's how we go back to Him. That's how we go back to righteousness. Right? That's how we go back to our first love. So, when we realize how prophecy actually a fulfill, and people are out there making a mockery of it and laughing at us and all sorts of things, sometimes when I see people doing this, a great fear comes over me. It's a fear so powerful that, it's so powerful, and it's a kind of fear where I'm not afraid. Well, I'm afraid for the people that are not revering, they're not listening, they're not heeding Yahweh's voice. We may not understand everything, but He said we would understand in the latter days. So I'm not worrying about things I cannot understand fully right now. I'm not even trying to understand it because He said we would understand it in the latter days. So I'm not even trying to figure out things anymore. But let me tell you, there is this great fear that always comes over me, and it makes me worried about the people. It makes me worried about the people who are not listening and who are not taking heed. That's what that fear feels like. It's not me being afraid. It's me being afraid for the ones who are not listening. And the fear I feel, let me tell you, it is not a good feeling. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. It scares me sometimes. But I know I'm not supposed to fear it. But I actually fear for the people who are not taking heed. That's what that fear is all about when it comes over me. But that's what I wanted to share, guys. And to let you know that, listen, His Word is true, His Word is true. And I know a lot of people know that His Word is true, which is why so many evil things are happening around us, because they know they have a short time, so they're doing all sorts of things right now. But that's what I wanted to share, everyone. I hope you all have a good day.